coffee or tea, I have coffee and tea for free as well here. There's a couple of...
Yeah, I'll take a cappuccino, please.
I'll take a triple spice mocha with 3 pumps vanilla.
You want whipped cream on it?
Yeah, matcha. I'll take a matcha.
Oh, I wish I had.
Almond milk and 3 pumps of hazelnut. Just wait for Sophia to come back and then we'll start. All right, welcome everybody to Tarot Academy every Wednesday here at Buddha Belly Records. Today I'm going to jump right into it. I know we're not in Libra season yet, but we had a lot of Virgo season. We went through Virgo, 3 or 4 different classes. I think we went into every different possible angle of Virgo we could possibly do. The next couple of months we're going to do just basic tarot classes. So we're not going to have elaborate slides. We're going to have it more interactive where we could do readings and kind of just understand like the basic meanings of the cards and then how we could read them and stuff like that. So I won't go too deep. That's why I changed the title from High Magic to basically just Tarot Academy Libra season. We'll go over like one card, learn a little bit about it, and then we'll pull cards. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jonathan Maldonado. I've been studying the mystical arts for over 8 years. I'm in a lot of different groups that do high magic, alchemy, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry. So that's like a big part of my life. I do lectures at different lodges, and I do guided meditations for world peace. Actually, right across the street we have a Rosicrucian temple that meets there. And I'm into esoteric Christianity and every religion, because I believe that there's truths in every religion on this world. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Has anyone ever seen the Justice card or pulled it in a reading? Like when you pull the Justice card, what does it mean to you? You do a lot of readings, right?
Well,
Is it AC on it?
It is. It's
burning. I don't know why.
Want
Like,
water or
I'm literally burning. That's all right. Yeah.
well, justice makes me think of balance, but also righteousness, because Libras are very righteous people. So that's like one of the first things that comes to mind for me whenever I pull the Justice card.
Okay.
Also, when I think of balancing the scales, it makes me think of like karma as well. So it's like you reap what you sow.
That's good. I like that. Anyone else? Interpretation of the Justice card when you would do it in a reading? Like, how would you, if you got this card for someone, what would you say? Like, if they're basically talking about, their finances, they had a question about maybe their job or future employment, and you got the Justice card for them, how would you do a reading? What would you say for anyone that does readings? Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that you need to balance more. You need to balance yourself more, both your energy externally and spiritually.
Yeah.
And utilizing the sword to cut through, or cut things out of your life that you no longer need in order for you to move forward, like ending cycles, so that you can level up.
Yeah. So, all right. So basically, it's on a basic level of understanding, just harmony, balance, really. That's really it, to not go, too deep into it, and just kind of using that with the reading. Does anyone notice anything with the card? Anything like strike out that says balance or that says justice?
The scales.
Scales,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Anything else?
I was going to say the sword.
Yeah, the wedding sword.
How's the sword balanced?
Because any justice, has a threat of violence.
A threat of violence, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Nobody would behave themselves if there wasn't some sort of violent, outcome. Like if they do something. Like, I don't know, like you don't break the law because you know that you're going to be caught by the cops or they're going to take you down and it's not going to be fun, and there's violence. I mean, they all carry guns for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a consequence for your actions.
Yeah. I don't know if it could be as that severe, depending on what it is, right? Depending on what it is.
I mean, it doesn't.
It could be severe.
But I'm just saying that's how we maintain a harmonious society, is by threat of violence.
Right, fear, you're saying.
Exactly.
By fear. Okay.
To some degree, there is.
It gives like a
fear.
deterrent. Like if we have the lights on in here, someone might not approach because the lights are on, they know it's active. But we turn the lights off, then you leave it open for someone to say, oh, the lights are off, let me, if you open up that opportunity for someone without that deterrent.
Okay. But can someone really threaten you if the lights are on too?
No, it's what I meant, like if there's a
I'm
park
just trying to dive deep into it. It's a
Yeah.
crowded circle.
So since justice is like talking about karma too. It's like maybe truth coming forward to balance the scales.
Okay. Mike, you had your hand up in the back?
The thing that I thought of is there's two like pillars, right, like behind her, and she's directly in the middle.
Okay.
of
Or
those
I thought it
two,
was a
so-
he.
Well, it's like, what do we always say? Justice is blind, right? In this country?
Mhm.
And it's usually a female, right? It's usually a
Yeah.
female depicted.
Yeah.
It's just definitely a female, yeah.
Right.
It is.
From what this artist with this card, voted deck, they have described it as a female because justice is blind, and then it connects to all the symbolism of justice being a female. Even a lot of the virtues, prudence, temperance, if you pull it up, or the three graces in Greek mythology, they're always seen as females. Even the virtues too as well.
The scales of justice in the UK, which is the
Okay.
justice,
Oh, Lady
is
of Justice.
definitely a female, and she definitely has blinds on.
Yeah, right?
And she has a sword.
And she has a sword.
scale.
Wow.
And she has scales, so that is the significance.
It's like I wonder
Wow.
if the tarot got it from that, or they got it from the tarot.
It could
It could have
way,
been.
but that is the
Yeah.
that is the main, and I understand when you, I mean, consequence. I like the term consequence.
Yeah.
But I understand when you refer to violence, because a sword, if you take that sword away from that image,
Mhm.
justice takes on a different meaning. But the sword is a symbol.
It
of,
is like, yeah,
a symbol
of justice.
of justice in a kind of Neanderthal way, if you like.
Well,
Do you
like
know what I mean?
back in the day, used to behead
Yeah.
people with swords.
Exactly. Right. That's what
Okay.
it is, right? And that was seen as justice.
But you,
Yeah.
but justice also protecting the weak, right? Protecting people that are old, protecting the widows, the orphans, which you could use a sword with that. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not always about hurting someone; it's more about defending, like being righteous, defending the weak. And sometimes police officers, yes, they have firearms, but they're also defending people. They're supposed to serve and protect. You know,
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic there. But when it goes back to the sword, it's also being righteous, having knowing when to use it, the balance of when to use the sword as a form of maybe protection. So think of the sword as that, more protection than, because we automatically see justice, we think, all right, justice, the courts, right and wrong. But sometimes justice means if you see someone about to hurt someone, a little child, are you going to protect them, or so is hurting them justice right there because you're defending the weak from getting hurt? There's different ways to look at it.
The sword was also used, in the...
Yeah.
So annoying, yeah.
Yeah, and think about that. So wow, so if it's also used for knighthood, the knights, they had the highest level. I don't know if you know about the Knights Templar, they had the highest level of righteousness and morality and ethics. Like if you ever read the code that they had to live by, never lie, never slander. It's a thing that I feel like it's been lost in our society. Right? But there's still groups, there's still night people, still out there. But it's not as big as the medieval times where it was a really big thing, and people had chivalry and people who knew how to act like a knight.
Yeah.
I just wonder, had you not had the word justice on the card or on the slideshow, what everybody's opinion would come out, the description would come out.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell us what it was justice.
Yeah, or like, yeah,
I'd be
if you didn't
curious
say
to see.
it at the
I mean,
bottom,
obviously
yeah.
the sword, your eye went right to that. It wasn't a hidden object like the scales were more hidden or, subdued in the background.
Because it's,
But
yeah, it's in
if
black
you didn't
and
have
white.
those
Exactly,
words,
yeah.
if you didn't tell us it was justice, I would have been curious to see what, show this card without the words and see what their reaction would have been.
Okay.
The
Yeah, I
hat
think
is-
I have a couple different ones I'll show there. They might have a sword, they might not, but they might not have justice there.
Yeah.
The hat's a little distracting to me. Or crown hat. It's like weird. It looks like a mushroom, or
Looks like a lily pad.
yeah.
I mean,
But then in the middle, it has what looks like the Instagram logo.
I was gonna say that, it looked like the.
Oh, it does.
Where do you think Instagram got it from? So to dive
They
into
knew
it.
about Instagram.
So the sign that connects to the justice card is Libra. Because what is Libra? The scales, right?
Justice.
Well, not necessarily. Libra's the scales. So Libra means balance, right? So just so we can have a little bit of information, Libra's from the September 23rd to the 22nd. It's an air sign, but it's a cardinal air. Why? Because cardinals, so people don't know, cardinal signs are signs that begin seasons. So the next season is fall. So this sign is the sign that fall starts in. So Capricorn will be the beginning of winter, Aries the beginning of spring, and Cancer, cardinal sign, the beginning of summer. So people understand. The ruling planet is Venus. So Venus is what rules this card, and the symbols are up here. Okay. The scales represents balance and harmony. It's the 7th house, house of partnerships and relationships. So partnerships take balance, right, and harmony, and so do relationships. So that's why it's for represents the 7th house. Key traits is diplomatic and fair-minded, right? Seeks balance, justice, and harmony. Charming and social. Can be indecisive or avoid conflict. Strengths with Libra are the cooperative, graceful, great at mediating. Challenges are indecisive, may prioritize others over themselves. So every sign has its, like, I guess, negative or positive, if you want to use that way to build it up. And focus in life is building partnerships and fostering harmonious relationships. I don't know about you, any Libra I know, they're all about like bringing people together, harmony, balance. They're very caring and nurturing people too as well. And let's go to the next slide, just to keep it light. So the tarot key 11. Now we have it in color. I know it's a little hard to see this one, but
Yeah.
still with the Rider-Waite deck. So just so people know, with tarot, the most popular deck is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. This is the most popular deck that you would see on TV, on movies. If you see like someone pulling tarot cards, this is the most common deck that you'll see. The second most common deck used is the Thoth deck, created by Aleister Crowley. And then the third most common used deck is the Boda deck, created by brother or Paul Forster Case. He's a Masonic brother, that's why I say brother. And it's similar to the Rider-Waite deck, but he is more explicit with his cards. So he adds like the Hebrew letter on the bottom, and just some indications to connect to like different signs. So the green connects to Venus, so that's how you know Venus is what rules Libra. So they use different colors and stuff to connect it to different parts. Anyone notice any similarities or differences with these two cards?
One is holding the scales in front of them, and one is off to the side.
Okay. Anything else? Yep.
I'd say the one on
The
the right.
pillars. The pillars are
Right.
different.
Here you see,
Yeah.
the pillows are tall here.
On the right.
And these, the top of the pillows almost look like the hat, kind of like the shape, the round shape. Here you can't tell where the pillows end. They just go up to infinity.
Right.
And then you see the bottom, like the bases, so it could be, Greco-Roman style pillars, right?
I think it's easier to tell the one on the right's a woman.
Right here?
She looks,
Yeah.
it's the lips. It
Really?
looks a little
It
feminine.
could,
also
it could be a
long-
man. Men had long hair back then, right?
That's true. Men
It could be a man.
Men were also the actors too.
The number 11 is quite significant.
What's that?
The number 11,
Okay.
they both got number 11. One's in Roman numerals, the other one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So the
Makes
Rider-Waite
sense,
deck, they use Roman numerals, and they use a number system for this deck. He's just a little more explicit. It just makes it a little simpler, and then he adds the Hebrew letter too as well on the bottom. Any other differences or similarities with Libra?
The one on the left has like this, I can't see it from back here, but there's like a little red doodad off to the right.
The thing is, castle.
Yeah.
Oh, Tally house?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
It looks like it's probably holding the curtains back.
I think
So-
it's amazing they're holding a broadsword with one hand. Up like
Pretty
that.
heavy, right?
Like that's a really those swords are heavy.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah,
That's no joke.
yeah. That's why you have to remember, once again, with tarot, you have to really look, into it. Is someone really holding a sword that big, like that? Maybe not. So you have to, kind of look at it a little deeper level to understand there's probably something going on back here, but it doesn't really make too much sense.
Two could symbolize strength then, because if that's a heavy sword or, that's symbolizing strength.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And it's like the right hand is the one holding the sword too as well, obviously, because most people are righty, except for us lefties, right? And the left hand is always, remember, left is always seen like as the weaker side, but so the weaker side maybe mean like the side that shows mercy, so that's why the scales are on the left hand, because the right hand, when you connect it to Kabbalah, the tree of life, on the right side, if you back yourself in, on the right side is a pillar of severity, on the left side is a pillar of mercy. So that's why the right side has the sword always, and the left side has mercy and the
Left
scale.
side.
Yeah, with Kabbalah it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
switched. With the Tree of Life it's actually switched.
Oh, is it switched?
The right side, yeah, the right side is actually the feminine part, and then the left side is the male part, because wisdom is the male, and the female is understanding. Because understanding understands the seed, right, and takes the seed and forms it into life. So yeah, so it's wisdom and understanding.
I always got that like mixed up because I'm always like, okay, the left side of me is this my feminine, right? Like my weak, whatever. My,
Yeah.
You know, feminine side. My right is my. But from this view, not the other side.
Correct. Yeah, with the Tree of Life, you have to actually back yourself into it.
Yeah.
So it would
right.
be like this, the right side,
Right.
and the left side.
The
Yeah.
woman's always right.
You have a question?
What would be the slipper?
What happened? The glass slipper,
It's
Cinderella?
like-
What?
No, it's like.
Yeah, like they're sticking their foot out on an angle like that.
Yeah, on just one foot, and it's both the same foot.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
Maybe it's pointing to Orion's belt, man.
It's definitely a cause for research,
Right. Yeah. Let's
you know. But obviously, if you see red and little like white slipping out, so white kind of connects to like
Purity.
purity of cosmic consciousness within Kabbalah, right? Within like the Tree of Life and stuff, or purity, you could say, right? Cleanliness, and red is usually Mars too as well.
Certain groups, like you.
Why is that?
They just.
Probably because
Who? Like at.
energy, like running through your body. So sometimes if you're crossing it, like in electricity, you don't cross wires, right?
Yeah.
So it's
makes
we're
sense.
organic electrical beings, right? The heart, you know, what do they use to resuscitate someone, right? They
The AED.
AED, right? It's electric. So we're organic electric beings. So anything else people notice here?
The Sergio Ticino sign on the left-hand side is the same as the other previous card, but it's absent from the
Which
card on
part?
the right. The T. I call it the Sergio Ticino sign because
Okay. Or the Tau cross?
The T, yeah. Of course, the
Yeah, I actually call it the Tau cross too, which is basically a Greek cross, right?
Mhm.
It's obviously different from the Christian cross, and it's different from the equal arm cross or the Maltese cross. But yeah, so that could be considered the Tau cross. But yeah, because basically with Rider-Waite's deck, he wasn't really trying to make it. Was meant as like a playing deck. It was an exoteric deck. It's not meant to be esoteric, meaning hidden knowledge. It's not supposed to like really reveal anything, because he actually had his own esoteric deck, like a deck for like hidden meanings and stuff. But this is just, you know, basically supposed to be a basic deck just for people to, you know, use to do readings and stuff like that, and just kind of divination purposes. Anything else people notice?
What about the planets, John? Like, does it mean like the red connects to Mars and all that?
Yeah, usually red is like Mars energy, and then you notice like yellows connects to could be super consciousness, solar consciousness, or Mercury too as well.
Right.
And just notice that the yellow, like her head is like within the yellow, so it's kind of like where here the looks like the veil is not fully, you know, it's pretty up, it's high up, so it's a little past him here, where they're almost like sitting in a place that's less veiled because of how it's open,
Right.
but it's open, like it's shown like it's going down to his head area.
It's like curtains on a stage,
Right.
rather than that is like a backdrop.
Like a drape or
A
something.
drape.
Yeah. Like almost like protecting something, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want you to see something.
Yeah. You gotta
There's a
pull
bunch
it
of
down. You
garbage
gotta
back
pull the windows out. Yeah.
It's odds.
That's in the advanced class we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's that's why you can meditate with these cards, and you can see where your mind goes, and try to pull the veil back. Try to see what happens behind there. It's only with spirituality and science. It's just you have to try things to see if you could prove it, right? So you could actually apply the science to spirituality and meditation and stuff. Just record, you know, what your findings when you meditate. Will you be able to pull the veil? Did you have trouble seeing it? Can you see it? And how many days or months did it take you from when you started to meditate it, look at it, to actually come clear, see all the colors and the figures and stuff? So really, when you're doing this stuff, be a scientist. Really explore. There's really no wrong way to do it. Any other questions? Want to go to the next slide? All right, let's pull some cards. So I just wanted to pull up some show you some different cards before we actually pull cards. So we get someone sitting in the hot seat, and we're gonna go around and help to do a reading for the person. But before, just wanted to show you guys, these are some other Justice cards. And one online, this is like an old school Golden Dawn card. They still have Justice on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is another like Egyptian style card. Looks like it could be Isis.
ISIS, yeah.
Right? And you see the checkered floor here too as well. So that kind of represents balance, right? Or it represents the floor mats on the outside, inside of his bathroom. But then you got this card right here. Now this is the, anyone guess which author of this card? Yeah, this Thoth deck.
Wild, yeah.
So you can tell like the sword is in up. It's interesting too because this sword's down too as well. And in some groups, not to give too much, but in some Knights Templar groups or some knightly orders, that is, it's a symbol. To have your sword down, it's like a symbol like of rest. So it's not, it's like a passive symbol too as well.
And it's also, they were buried with their swords in that position.
In that,
Exactly.
yes.
Standing up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's very good. So this is the same card, but you don't see the sword up, and there's really no words there. So, but you can definitely see the scales here. And if you look, you can see the air symbol for air, and then you see the Libra symbol over here. All right, so who wants to go in the hot seat?
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but
He's in the
don't be
house.
rude.
So he just left the hot seat. That's why he left. No joke. Take care, Mal. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much, Mom. See you soon, brother.
Oh, another thing too. Show you this card was cool because I don't know what's under the person's feet. You see that?
Oh,
Like
is that like a dog?
that was weird. Yeah, I think it was it could be a dog or like maybe a goat. Could be a goat maybe.
Like a little mini sphinx.
Or a little cage on it.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because no other card had that. Besides, you see it sometimes, and I think maybe the Hierophant or the Empress. Some other cards might show like an animal under there, but
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Oh, yeah, right,
Right?
onto
Yeah, I
their
was like-
feet.
Is that connected to just like energy or something? It's just showing Earth, like she's grounded, but she's also like the heavens or something.
Subduing animal nature.
Oh, okay.
So think about
right.
whenever you see animals like the strength card, a lion's below the person.
Right.
If it's below the person, especially this area, it's everything below this area represents your
Yeah,
animalistic
she's
nature.
like making
Like
sure
your
that
sexual
that
energy.
dog or wolf doesn't get up.
Yeah.
So she's like keeping that down.
Keeping it down.
Or it's just that's the rest, and they're
Or
also
keeping her feet warm.
she's resting her feet on it.
Ah.
So maybe sometimes we need to rest our strength on our animalistic natures, right? Because there is an instinctual part to animals.
Right.
That maybe they don't have to overthink, analyze stuff. If they're hungry, they get food, right? If they're thirsty, they drink water.
Right.
Sometimes we overanalyze everything.
Right.
What are we gonna eat? I don't know. I still haven't picked. So it's like
Yeah.
because that's that Mercury energy, that intellectual part of us.
Right.
Where we have the freedom of choice, where we can literally get whatever we want. Animals, they get whatever they can find. Right? There's no animal.
On the Crowley deck, those things on the sides are supposed to be the scales,
Yeah, you can
and
see.
they're like attached to her head.
I'm gonna try to get it out here so I can kind of see what it says on it.
Because that looks painful.
It looks like wings too, like almost like a wing coming out.
Yeah, but
Crowley's
like,
deck is absolutely
Crowley's
But you
deck
said
is
it looks painful.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes.
it's a little sadistic.
Did he draw?
Oh well, yeah. His deck. Some
It's
people
like
say
Hellraiser.
his deck. Some people say is disturbingly beautiful.
Yeah.
No, they're wild cards. Like you get lost in some of these cards. Like you can just like look at one for like an hour and still see something new. Like
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He got it, and I was looking through it.
Some are, yeah, some are really wild.
With his cards here, you got to really know your stuff. You got to know, Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology. You have to know Gnosticism. You have to know the zodiac,
Right,
all the
is there-
different stories.
Is it like safe to say that like his is like more like advanced because there's so much more going on?
Yeah.
Right, like a little bit.
But some stuff is explicit. Like some stuff, like we looked at the 10 of this last time. It's pretty explicit,
Right.
and he writes wealth on there, so it kind of tells you this card means wealth. So some stuff is explicit, but some of the graphics and the artwork, you really gotta do your research and know all these different mythical stories and medieval lores and legends and stuff.
Wait, is that large format for a cloth deck?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Not as large as the one they have here.
Oh.
but-
I didn't know they made
I know, I wish I could get
A giant deck like this.
Oh, that would be sick, right? I looked everywhere, I can't find them.
And Voda does it. We have with our groups when we do our classes in 23rd Street.
Huh?
We have some like huge
Wow.
ones and stuff. Yeah,
I would love to.
yeah, those are great. And
That's
then they have
when you can really see the detail.
And I went to where was it? South Pasadena a couple of years ago. I did a tour. I went to like Masonic lodges, Rosicrucian lodges. I went to alchemical spots. I drove from San Jose to LA, and in LA they had a Buddha temple, and the temple is like kind of like a church, but their temple had like checkered floor and life-size tarot cards around the whole like
Wow.
east where the altar is, and their reverend like dresses like the I think it's the Empress. Like some of them dressed like some of the cards. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was great. It was definitely a very modern, but with a touch of like old school but esoteric like service.
Mhm.
It was fun. It was a good time.
And that was in San Jose?
California.
South Pasadena. So in that LA area, that's where the Boda headquarters is.
Yeah, so like the hermit.
Yeah. So okay. So on the thoth deck on the bottom it says it's actually adjustment. So they took out justice completely, and they wrote adjustment. How do you think adjustment connects to Libra?
The scales. It's like the harmony, and maybe you need to adjust. Like,
Weight,
yeah,
Balance.
make more balance.
Well, adjustments could also mean like you add and you take things away, right? So you're making like minor adjustments.
Yeah, to have balance, you would have to make adjustments. Like on those scales,
Yeah.
the tiniest grain of like sand could tip it, so you have to adjust and be adaptable to keep
Ooh,
your
I like
balance.
Be adaptable. Okay, that's a good one too as well. Anything else?
I don't know. To me, it seems like you
Wanna pass it
know,
on?
adjustment at a cost, because
Yeah, we can pass it on.
adjustment
At a cost. Okay.
it does not look comfortable at all.
I guess you could.
There's chains attached to her
There's
head.
chains everywhere.
Yeah, but like coming from your head, that's so heavy.
I
It's
don't
making me think
but-
of like
okay.
It's weighing you down.
Remember, Isis represents like divine feminine, so it represents like the not material femininity, but like the divine femininity
Like
that
the
they
sky.
created, like
Yeah.
Nui, like they created like all of us. So that energy, that power, the universal power. So that universal mother, which is Isis, she can handle that weight. She could definitely
It's-
handle the scales, and then it's also what you said before too. This is also connects to karma. This card is
Yeah.
all about karma.
So
Oh,
the way
I was
it's
just gonna say
attached to
karma,
her is
yeah.
making me think of like her inner strength is the reason she's able to adapt and make adjustments, because she has that balance and strength within herself that she's able to adjust when when the external world is shifting.
Mm-hmm.
She's able to adjust. And with what you were saying about like karma before,
Mm-hmm.
so when I think of swords, when I see, I think of like minor arcana, like swords are about communication.
Yeah. Okay.
So I also feel like the sword, as well as like protection, is like truth. Because sometimes, like for example, karma, like if you're lying, like eventually the truth will come out. So
Yeah.
justice is always served.
Okay.
Regardless of what's going
That's
on
true.
in the outside. Like with the curtains too, in the previous cards at least, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but eventually like karma will play out.
And like eventually like the curtains will come down.
Right.
I love
That's a
that.
good interpretation.
That's excellent. You can pass the program if you want. But this card is great because you have to know Egyptian. Well, you have to know everyone ever heard of the Egyptian Book of the Dead?
Somewhat. I'm not too good.
So the Egyptian Book of the Dead, basically, it gives a blueprint of how people could transcend in the afterlife. The Egyptian mythology is all about the afterlife, but it was all about the scales. And if you really look on the cards, you see a heart and feathers. Your heart could it be heavier than the feathers, meaning their actions. You had to live a life of righteousness, and this it's called the not to get too deep, but this hole is supposed to be the hole of Amet, the hole of truth. And then, and in certain groups, they do initiations where they would take the initiate and before obviously they died, but while they were alive in the Egyptian mysteries, they should take them through and put them through trials and tribulations, trials of earth, trials of air, water, and fire, like literally trials, where they would have to literally overcome the fire, overcome the water, you know, and at the end, you know, basically the balance of your life actions. It's all about teaching you to live a righteous life and to teach you that being in harmony with yourself and others is the way. That is the way for everlasting peace, everlasting unity, and within yourself too as well.
I'm seeing something, I don't know,
Yeah.
different than everybody else, but the one on the left, the one on the right. I'm looking at the perspective drawing that it's going into an upward triangle, a downward triangle, almost putting them in that diamond shape of protection. It's only on the left side and the right.
Yeah.
Where we
It's
see
the
it,
diamond.
the diamond right here?
Yeah, the triangle, and then it goes all the way up to the top. It's an upward triangle in one direction, triangle in the other. Pieces it together, they're like protected in this.
Could be a rhombus, right?
Sorry.
Is it a rhombus? Rhombus maybe?
Also-
Rhombus? Is it right? A rhombus shape is like.
Yeah.
Also, it could be the opposites. The one triangle, if you cut it like in half, you got the top triangle and like the bottom, the union of the opposites.
Like this.
Oh,
You know, which is the
As above, so
Yeah.
right,
below.
okay, that's above, so below.
oh,
Especially on the right card as well.
the right
I
card's
see
easier
that
to
more.
see it, yeah.
Right, I see that
Right
more.
here?
Right, yeah,
Yeah, in
the triangle.
the-
With the
Yes, check the card passing around to see, is it
You
like
can
that
see
in
it
the card
in
too?
this one
Yeah.
too.
Is it?
The
Okay,
light
good.
hits, if you could see it. You can see it's almost outlined.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But the card on
That's
the
how I
right,
would interpret
it's weird because the as below part is actually lit up.
Yeah.
Say right here?
Yeah,
you can
it's,
see the
yeah,
light.
yeah. It's illuminated
Why do you think it's illuminated?
because it's brighter. You see, like all the white
No.
squares within that
No, no.
area.
I know, I can tell it's bright, but why do we think it's illuminated?
Oh, knowledge.
To show, right? Like,
To show balance, I guess, because when people think so below, they think negatively.
Because maybe, I like that, maybe if you're unbalanced, then you probably be outside these lines. Balance,
You're
right?
stuck in a cycle.
This is also showing that the balance of the scales, you know, makes almost a perfect triangle right here,
right.
Yeah, I understand on the top.
right? So,
Yeah, they're protected in that two triangles.
Jonathan, what is it? The Star of David? Is it the Star of David, the Jewish star
Yeah.
with the 6-pointed star? Because if you
I don't think I ever heard of that.
you know, if you cut it in half and you push them together,
Hexagram is called.
the hexagram.
Six,
There you go.
six-pointed star,
Right.
hexagram, so it's usually, it's
So
a
that's
triangle.
how I see it as
Yeah.
like, because that really represents the union of the opposites. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like if you just squish it this way, it'll turn into that.
Which is also balance, right? Union
Right,
of opposites
balance.
is balance.
Exactly, right,
Yeah.
right.
And the two, in alchemy, you know, upper triangle, a point, apex faced up is fire, apex faced down is water. You know, once again, you know, water symbolizes feminine,
Right.
you know, fire, masculine, and you're right, it's the balancing of the two energies.
Yes.
And that's why you see, you know, black and white, so polarities, it's the balancing of two energies, of two things that maybe on the external seem opposite, but they're still the same thing. Like I always say, like water, right? There's different degrees. It's really warm water, really cold, but it's really still water.
Right.
You know, these are hermetic laws and stuff.
Right.
All right, so who wants to go on the hot seat? Let's pull some tarot cards. And is anyone bold enough to use the Thoth deck, or want to stick with the Rider Waite deck?
Let's
James,
mix
you have a
it
question
up.
too, actually?
Mix
Sorry.
it up.
Want to mix it up? All right, we'll mix it up. Let's, your last question for the night.
Oh no,
Okay.
you kind of answered it, but I was gonna say the illumination in the triangle in that right card right there. It could meaning like the understanding of like you've got the heart and the feather, the physical and the light energy, the light and dark energy for the path to illumination, kind of. Like you see how she's so angelic and all, but she's balancing
Mm-hmm.
the physical and kind of like the spirit. Like the feather could be representative of the spirit, like the
And there's
ether.
also an eye right there where our heart is.
Yeah. So it's like the balancing of light and dark energies, the understanding of it all.
And the swords in the middle too.
Yes.
if you notice that in these two cards, opposed to every other justice card, the sword is, off to the side, the scales are all, to the right hand, the left hand are the scales.
Mm.
But in these two cards, which really connect to Egyptian style, even with her headdress, it looks Egyptian. And this one you can tell it's in an Egyptian temple. She has the Isis crown, because the Isis also connects to the moon and waning, waxing crescent, full moon right here.
More of a defensive position compared to offensive. Like having an upward would be offensive, and then having it straight down would be more a defensive, like on guard, like I know what I'm doing and I'm in a stance.
I don't know if the on guard, the sword's usually up. Yeah. It's usually
depends
facing
on
up.
how you look at it though. 'Cause
But yeah,
if
you're
it's
right.
holding it up like that, in the monarchies, they would hold it up like that, like when they were talking or when they were like doing a speech, like, you're with me, like that, but it's not like defensive stance. So.
And when people were maybe taking an oath, right? If they were taking an oath, the sword would be down like that.
Yeah.
Or the Knights Templar would be praying, because remember the sword is a cross. So they would have the sword like this, and they would do it praying right before battle too as well. So because that's what the sword is. It's a cross.
It's a cross.
And they always had a
Yeah.
cross in the hill too.
Yep.
See, I like the sword in the middle better because it feels more balanced. When it's off to the right, it feels off balance. Or off to
I like that too. Yeah, very like symmetrical things.
But this one too is as above, so below. You can see, right?
Right.
That one in a way, it's kind of like.
Right.
So remember, a lot of them they connect to other things too as well.
Right.
That it's for those that have eyes to see. All right, so who wants to go on the hot seat? Who wants to reading?
I'll just do it because nobody's saying anything. And I'm not scared.
All right, let's do it. We're gonna do a past, present, and future poll.
Sure.
Cut the deck. I need 3 volunteers. 1 person to read the past card, 1 person to read the present card, 1 person to read the future card. So I
You
need
gotta
3
do one of
volunteers.
them. You're good.
So
She's doing one of them.
I'll do one of them.
okay, 2 volunteers left. Okay, who's gonna do are you doing the past card?
I'll do present.
Present. Who's gonna do the past then?
I'll do it if nobody volunteers.
Right. Let's pick a card for the past. Actually, wait. Do you have a question in mind? Something you're thinking of? If not, we can reschedule. I'm joking. Okay. That's the past. All right. Who's the past person?
You're doing pass.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to do you want to do first and then, or do you want me to pull all 3 and then? What do you want to
All
do?
3.
Yeah. Let's.
What are you meditating on? Hold on. In life, you don't always have to say yes.
Sure.
Right?
You can think about it.
All right. Life's all about your time.
Yes, no, or think about
All
it.
Present.
This one.
Knew she's gonna pick that one.
This one was begging to be picked.
Future. People always go for cards in the middle. Interesting.
I go to whatever calls to me. Okay. First one.
All right. Past. Let's come up.
Interference. But it's in reverse. Are we going to read reversals? Or do you want to do non-reversals?
I don't personally read in reverse yet. I'm not there yet.
Okay.
But
Well, this is the thing about reverse. This is why it's really not hard. Why? Because if you don't
It's just
read
the opposite,
card,
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's
opposite.
just
You know?
reverse.
One card, if it says love and it's right and it's opposite,
Hey.
maybe you're falling out of love. You know?
It'd be funny if you put that in your head.
it's like walking out.
Yeah, you just walked around with a GoPro on your head. Extreme Tarot.
All right. So what is the past showing with her reading for her?
So it's an 8 of, but it's in reverse. Right?
So you could see what you do the 8 of Swords first, maybe if you want, then you
Yeah.
just reverse it.
So obviously some interference with something in your life. Say some right away. The first thing I thought of was like childhood, like difficulties, something you have to like overcome.
So in the past, something maybe she.
Right.
Well, the present card will determine, right?
Right.
Let's see. Okay. All right. That's good.
This should be like the seat that we sit.
The hot,
The reader's seat.
the literal hot
Okay.
seat.
Do I have to sit?
But then that coming out reverse can be that.
You don't have to,
Yeah,
but you
you-
can if you want
No,
to.
you have to.
Right.
The things that affected her.
Right.
Now, yes. So you have to know if it's reverse or not.
Is there any way you can show the card?
Yeah.
I don't
Yep, sorry about
but
that.
it is a whole nother
Yeah.
dimension.
This is the card you got for the past.
Blurry. That's blurry.
Ooh,
These are
my
different.
signal, my signal. Yeah, yeah, but he worded them differently.
I'm not familiar with this deck, but it's making me think like 5 of
Are
Pentacles.
you like your intuition too? Yeah, that's what I was just using my intuition.
One second.
You know, some of them sound good, some of them.
All right, so what is the card?
Sound weird and awkward. That's
Worry?
What is it? 5 of just.
Pentacles, or is it?
Yeah, so he used this, but it's 5 of Pentacles.
Okay.
Okay, so what now? This is the present. So what is this card telling you about her present right now?
So in this card, there's this. It makes me think of material things. So it could be something physical, maybe not like a relationship or a friendship, something along those lines. And it may have you in some sort of anxiety. Just feel the absence of something.
Remember what Pentacles
But that-
connects to too as well. Sorry to cut you off. Yeah, remember, yeah, because 10 of Pentacles is wealth. So what?
Yeah.
Think of it as more
So
material.
that's why I said material things, but I didn't want to limit it to just money, because it could be, you know, maybe like a home or a car, like anything
Mhm.
related to that.
Yeah, material. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see too. If you look, there's a pentagram in there. It's upside down. Yeah. Don't stare at it.
So what is an upside down pentagram?
It's like the head of Baphomet, but and people think it's satanic, but it's really
It means it's time to start drinking.
So it's a 5-pointed star, right? So there's 4 elements. The 5th is the quintessence, like is the top, or represents the spiritual.
So is it like
When it's
the main
reversed, that
plan?
means you're really
Not
you're-
your spiritual nature.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's-
You're in
it's
your
kinda-
like earthly, worldly nature.
Mhm.
Even like a lot of people think like the goat is like the devil and like all that stuff, but it's really just represents Capricorn. It represents Earth.
Well, that's kind of
energy.
like material goods too. Like
Yeah.
if you're too obsessed with material goods,
Right.
then
You're too in 3D. You're too much here.
Okay.
You don't have any like spiritual rest.
Okay, cool. Alright.
Right, I'm gonna pass the card around so everybody can see it. Who's doing the future?
It looks like a machine. It looks like a machine.
Yeah.
Like those are all like, and they could like all spin, you know?
Yeah, it's also no one noticed too, but it's also Mercury in Taurus. Mercury's there in Taurus.
The symbol.
So there's some stability there, but Mercury
Yeah.
could be, you know, it could be some intellectual stubbornness, right? Mercury is intellectual communication, and then Taurus is they're usually stubborn because it's a fixed Earth sign.
Where's the future one?
Here.
Okay, now what does the future hold for Sophie?
Princess of Wands.
So what is Wands
Oh, yeah,
good?
A princess rather than a queen? Wow.
Well, there is a Queen of Wands, I believe, right? There's a Queen of Wands.
That's what princess means.
Would that be like a page? Is there a queen card too?
Yeah,
For
not
me-
every card has the pages, but go ahead.
I want to say this represents some sort of spiritual transformation.
How's it for her future? Use it to give her a reading for her future.
Well, you see the woman and like the cat being, so it does kind of indicate some sort of like transformation in the future.
Okay.
Perhaps maybe it has to do like more psychological. Perhaps.
What's showing you psychological on the card?
I think it's the tail is wrapping around the head and then extending out,
Mhm.
kind of. So it's showing like an extension of the body growing and kind of like changing forms. I'm still very new to tarot, so I'm not.
It's okay. Yeah, no,
We're all
But,
learning.
there's no wrong
That's why
answer.
we're here.
What is your intuition telling you?
Yeah, what's it?
Where's your
It just
What else do you notice on the card? What else is on there? What it said? Wands, you said?
Wands are connected.
Princess
to
of
a-
Wands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it means like I guess like
Wands are earth, so that could be something to do with the material goods.
Nope. Nope.
No?
Pentacles.
Or fire.
Pentacles. Yeah.
Damn it.
It's okay.
Wands.
It's all right.
Wands. Yes, that's right. They're
So it's
wood and
fire.
they burn. That's right. Fire.
So that means
Passion?
it means it's probably connecting to a fire zodiac sign too as well,
yeah.
right? If you look too, it looks like she might have horns there. It could be Aries or Ram, right?
There's a lot of passion behind
Right.
this too.
Yeah.
Remember once a princess?
Like a lot of fiery passion. Like, it means that the change that you're gonna, whatever change is gonna go through, it's gonna be one of fire and passion, and it's gonna be very vigorous.
There you go. Now you're reading. Now you're doing
That's a
it.
good reading.
It's not like, not gonna be subtle. It's gonna be like a Mack truck just hit you.
And you're right, because if that connects to Aries, remember Aries is a cardinal fire. If you don't know, an Aries is the sign. Like if there's a war, they're running out to battle. They're not. They didn't bring their weapons, but they're out there.
Yeah,
And you guys are out there because remember they used to use to battle to take the doors down at castles and places. They used to use the battling ram, right? The battling ram was from Greek times to medieval times. It was a ram on this big post they had, and they would just use it to ram because rams are known to do that.
So could this symbolize like kind of like a quantum leap? Like jumping timelines and finding like a higher version and connecting with a higher version of myself, maybe.
For the present card, something that I was thinking of is like, because there was a loss of something, usually when there's a loss, something else is coming in. So now that you're saying quantum leap, it's like, whatever the material loss you experience is maybe helping you take that leap into like shifting that reality.
So do you want me to tell you what I asked the cards and to explain how it connects?
Yeah.
Pass that last one.
Yep.
Oh yes. Yeah, this is really cool, this one. Like she's being like she almost is like it's like this cat is trying to hold her back, but she's like, hell no. You know?
Would it mean following your intuition or passions? Like if it's trying to hold you back and you're like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, then the other thing.
Everyone wants to get to. Look, what is it? What is below her? It's also, it could say that your animalistic nature sometimes can hold you back. You have to notice there's some. If you see cards with animals in them, animals
That's
below,
what it is. It's your lowest.
it's trying to tell you something.
It's your lowest.
So it's trying to exactly.
I'm trying to escape that. Okay. Okay, so the past interference, it could be like a lot of different things. I'm thinking, I was specifically asking about being like, you know, I'm on this new path of being self-employed and not, you know, not having a job and definitely like putting that part of my life behind me.
Okay.
And so in the past, I would say the interference was a lack of self-belief. Like when you're selling yourself and you're selling your services, you have to have a lot of confidence in not just your abilities, but yourself as a person to go up to people and say, yes, I'm the right person that you need to work with. You know, so like it takes a lot to put yourself out there. And in the past, I just was not mentally like ready to do that, you know.
It makes sense too, because if you see the card, the Gemini symbol's there, and some, I don't know about you, but some Geminis are a little, it could be indecisive. Some say Geminis could be bipolar. So.
The Eight of Swords.
Two faces.
Yeah.
And then the worry, the loss, well, just recently, the most recent loss was the loss of a job. And that, in a way, was like, I think a signal from the universe that I'm not supposed to be employed. Like, I'm supposed to work for myself.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not like a bad employee, but I don't really like to be tamed, and I don't like to be watched like a kindergartner. And I feel like at most jobs, they just like, you have to get up to pee, like, and people like make mental note of it, and, you know, just like
That whole dynamic.
that whole dynamic of things is just like is not for me. And the future, I guess the way that I'm seeing this is that, you know, I'm surpassing this like lower level of myself, and I am, you know, transforming, you know, my life, you know, just besides being like self-employed, but like, you know, finding success in that transformation. I guess the transformation of it makes me think of
Burning
success,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm burning away the old.
And
So
that's what princess could technically mean too. Like princess represents royalty. It represents like
Leveling up.
leveling
yeah,
up.
so to me, like one of the things that I've been working on is a quantum leap. Like that's what I've been trying to like work up to, like a quantum leap, like just changing my mindset, like meditating upon like, you know, visualizing
outcome, right?
success,
Yep, the best
visualizing the outcome and all that kind of stuff, and just getting in touch with all of that so that when I show up as the person that is in that quantum leap that is like, you know, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's not a big deal, you know.
Manifest.
Probably giving it away to like whatever, starting a foundation. Like I would love to give lots of money away.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's beautiful.
and I think like for a long time, like I've had like this terrible view of money, you know, which I've worked with a therapist to shift, you know. So having a lot of money, money is just an amplifier of who you naturally are as a person.
Yep.
So like the more
Vulnerability.
money you have, the more it amplifies what is actually there. And as somebody that was bullied and overcome that, and like overcame my own mental image of who I thought I was and who I made myself to be, like I think, you know, it's best for the money to be in the hands of the people that will be kind with it,
Yeah.
you know.
I like
So like I will do good with money, you know.
Beautiful.
And the more you give, the more you get.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you.
That was
We brought the tarot cheat sheet so we could see like what in a basic
Oh.
reading what the answer would be, like basic. So for the past, 8 of Swords represents self-imposed. Remember, self-imposed. So something that you did to yourself.
Ah, that's right.
Restrictions, isolation, and imprisonment. Because this was the card that you got last time in your past as well.
Right.
But the 8 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck shows, you know, 8 swords in the ground, and then she's wrapped around, and she has something around her. Yeah, so it's a little harder to tell there.
Yeah. I definitely feel like it's like a hiding. Like you're hiding.
Something I was thinking, since it was in reverse, is maybe in the recent past you were unlearning whatever childhood, like limiting beliefs were instilled in you.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be like part of that process of doing the quantum leap. It's like unlearning that, like you were talking about, something related to childhood.
Yeah,
from
that
the
was just,
past
that
card.
just like came through to me. I don't know.
So like
Yeah.
unlearning whatever was keeping you stuck mentally, and then
Mhm.
like that loss was actually like a gateway, like opening.
Yeah, more
Almost
empowering.
watching.
Yeah.
Disappearing and then replacing
Yeah.
the memories you want.
Yeah, like getting rid of limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the next one was the 5 of Pentacles, right? We got
Yeah.
5 of Pentacles on the tarot cheat sheet says ill health, poverty, worry, isolation, that comes up again, and or financial loss.
Mm-hmm.
That's what showing the present right now. So it definitely does connect us to finances. It shows because you said you're looking in between jobs,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And then the present card, the future card,
Remember, you can't take it with you.
Princess
So-
of Wands.
That's true.
So that's why a lot of emphasis on finances that everybody does in life teaches you to view things like money's there, it's energy, but it's less important than everything around
Other
you.
things, yeah,
Family,
like health,
roof over your
yeah,
head,
connection.
you know, eating, you know, just simple things like that. You're already more abundant than, you know, like. But then once
And the more you see the
understand
evidence
that,
of abundance in your life, that's not necessarily money. Like the more it'll just bring more abundance to your life. You know.
because all the billionaires,
Yeah, no problem.
you know.
Thanks for coming down today.
Sophia, nice to meet you. Khadija. Do you live around here?
I lived around Bayshore. I'm in Selden now.
Oh, that's where my parents live.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's where I grew up most of my life. Yeah.
So the Princess of Wands on the cheat sheet represents a lusty and free-spirited person, creativity.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go on the hot seat next?
Oh wait, what did you say? The princess
Okay, yeah.
of
So
Wands?
princess, according to the cheat sheet, within the Rider-Waite deck, it would actually be knights of wands. So knights could be knights or princesses, depending on the deck. A lusty and free-spirited person, creativity.
Oh, definitely
Now,
creativity.
What I picked up from all this for you was your awakening is you want the intuition and you want to learn how to do the tarot reading, and that's part of your what's coming too,
Yeah.
besides your business. But that's
Yeah.
what I picked up from all this.
Oh, that's great.
That's where you're headed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's gonna open up, even though you're learning it, but all of a sudden it's just gonna be there. You're gonna know it.
Thank
That's
you.
what I just
Yeah.
got from the whole thing.
Do you want to be in the hot seat next?
No, I want him to be it.
Ah,
What-
you're in the
what-
hot seat.
What deck you want us to use?
I honestly like the Boba deck because there's a lot more in there.
To pick that.
Okay. The only difference is the Boda deck is only 22 cards. So,
It's only major.
yeah, so
arcana.
exactly, yeah, so we could use the Rider Waite deck because every
Yeah.
card, so you get the full spectrum.
Anyways,
So Rider Waite, okay, all right.
I don't have my Star Wars deck yet.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They
take a look.
actually made one, like the
I've never
Hermit is
seen
Yoda.
this.
He's sitting there in the mountain.
What is the hermit in the Star Wars one?
A lot of new
Yoda.
decks that just came into it. A lot of new decks.
Yoda's
A
Hermit.
lot of what?
New decks. I just got.
He's the
a lot
Hermit.
of-
He's
I also
the
got these
most
cool
powerful
little
being
molded
in Star Wars.
Okay.
I like the Alice in Wonderland.
And then the moon is
Oh, the cards hidden in there, sometimes they have these instructions hidden in there. I love these
Yeah,
decks.
when we're
These
done
are-
with
these are
class,
the
you should
easiest
tell
decks to shuffle.
everybody what new stuff you got.
Oh, yeah, I got
It's so
those.
big.
I saw this Selin. Is it Selin? No. What is
Yeah, I
it?
got Selenite Wands.
Yeah, I saw those. I was
What
thinking
does it
about
mean?
getting one. Because it's supposed to cleanse the crystals,
Yeah,
right?
it's supposed to like charge and cleanse
Do not get it.
How do you charge your crystals?
it.
I put them in the bowl last night.
Full moon, okay.
I charged them all
So
last night.
gave him some Pisces energy. It was in
Yeah.
Pisces last night.
Yeah,
So that's good.
the harvest moon.
Except for
Harvest moon, I
Yeah,
love that.
it was the
That's
harvest
so
moon
cool.
last
Yeah.
night. I looked that up online.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow
Oh,
like
really?
Wiccan tradition, it's
I used to
about,
shower with it.
you know, the harvest season.
I
How
was-
this is
that
the
was what the
season
guy
where
said. He
we're
said you could
reaping
power it by water, you
everything
could
that
power
we
it by the
sow.
sun, the moon.
Yeah,
That is
no,
literally-
That was the guru.
All right, so who wants to do past, present, and future? We need volunteers to
I'll
do
do
the
past.
readings. Okay, do the past. Who will do the present? Present. Okay. And the future. Who wants to do the future? Any takers?
It's all fun, guys. It's no pressure.
It's up to you.
Mike, you can do the future.
Okay.
You'll be the future. He's a future guy.
Future reader.
Yeah, right? Future.
Everybody likes the future the most.
I'll do-
Excuse me.
Who's in the hot seat? Hot
am.
seat.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, Jonathan, can I ask you a question in terms
Yes.
of reading? Like,
Yeah.
what is the art? Well, I said art to reading. I'm sure. I don't know if that's the right word to it.
It's okay.
Instead of reading, what is the art to reading?
The
Like,
art to reading?
Yeah, like a card. You know, if you're not experienced, like you said
Yeah.
that you don't know nothing.
Would be
I
like-
know
I'm looking
nothing.
at
I
them
would.
like-
I'd just be
Would
looking.
it-
Sometimes
What comes to
understanding
you?
the-
Yes.
It's intuition.
It's really intuition. So it's really being able to read the card. Basically, you know, what's a
Understand the
if you
symbols.
could read a picture, everything tells a story. Like he's clearly playing the saxophone, right?
Mhm.
You know, so they're shaking hands. You know, this looks like an LSD trip. You know, this guy looks like Dr. Love. So it's all about kind of like whatever the person's asking, and then now looking at the picture, and then what is that picture telling you, right? They say a picture's worth what, 1,000 words, right?
Yeah,
Because
literally.
pictures tell stories,
Yeah.
and the
That's
more
how we speak
the-
when we first learn when we're kids. Like,
yeah,
we
and
use
then just so I don't know if I said it last time, to understand that if I tell you or ask you what is a tree, what do you guys see right now in your mind,
A tree.
right? It was almost like
it was
kind
a
of questions that because no one ever says, "Oh, I see the word tree." No, right? They don't say it. Even though we communicate with words, right? We write letters, we email, text with words. We are using emojis, so we're kind of getting back to that. But you don't send a whole paragraph in emojis. I mean,
Right.
but so that's to show you that your subconscious mind sees in pictures. So that's why tarot, on a deeper understanding, they're keys to your subconscious mind. 'Cause
They're literally called tarot keys.
yes, that's how your subconscious is the part of you that runs all the programs. When you're sleeping, you don't have to say, "All right, are you beating heart? Are you digesting?" Your subconscious does all that for you. Subconscious is what's inside, helping the baby to form. Unless think about it, if we had to do that, wait, or is you making a left toe now? we would forget. So subconscious is the part of us, the feminine part of us, that creates stuff and understands and communicates in pictures. Hence why tarot is in pictures.
Yeah, like even this saxophone that says the hawk flies high. You know, that could be symbolizing like the rough start of jazz and how it, you know, grew out into one of the most prominent musics.
Most likely.
But on a basic level, like it's most readers, you know, that they just do reading. They might be passed down from family, so they may have an aunt or a relative that kind of showed them the ropes, taught them how to, or they grew up seeing it, right? Like, you know, I grew up watching my dad swing a hammer on the house, and I was learning how to, you know, you kind of learn from watching, oh, that's how you put nails in. So that's one way. But some people do it like I like to do more. I study it. So I study the deep esoteric meanings, the meanings below the surface level. And that's how, because the cards connect to like astrological energies and planetary energies. And once if you understand those, then you can understand a little deeper how to do a reading. Oh, this is...
Right, it's kind of having a wider vocabulary, right? It's like you could just say something and you only know a little bit, but then once you know, oh, this is also Mars, and this means this, and oh, this is also Libra, you know, and now you can connect so much more, so you have a wider vocabulary to share, and then it just, that's where like being, you know, the like intuition comes, and it's a more like accurate like reading, because then you start to, you know,
just like fine-tune it.
Right, just like
you adjust it, right?
Yeah. And there's no like coincidences in this realm, right?
Nope,
So
just synchronicity.
That's what the Oracle is in, you know, the Matrix. It's like they like trusted her because in that moment it's always perfect, right? So these three cards were meant to be pulled. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're always meant to be pulled.
With the OG Matrix, not the trilogies and the sequels.
The OG.
Alright. Who's got the password?
It was me.
All right, so let's see what
Academy.
Yeah, this past
you could stay there. Just, you know.
Is it this way?
Yeah, you said.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
want to
fine.
read reversals or no?
Are we gonna read reversals? This is reversed. Okay.
Do you want to read reversals?
Yes. Hey, however you did, what?
Well, we did it last time.
Yeah, reverse just means opposite
It
of
just
what.
means the opposite,
so,
so
you
whatever
know.
you discern on that, and then, you know.
That's how I'd say.
We
it.
did this card one time.
Really?
This is the 8 of Pentacles. No, 1, 2, 3.
Let's see.
6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of
Well,
Pentacles.
that card looks very familiar.
Yeah, didn't we do this last
That was in
time?
last lesson. Yeah.
Oh, the last.
So let's see how much
if
we
you
remember. Check your notes.
I think this is about wealth. This is about, usually about wealth and,
the next one is, but you're close.
oh, building wealth.
Is this 7 or 8? 7 or 8?
9.
No, 9.
Yeah, remember we get last time we did 9 and 10?
So it's like setting yourself up for success, right? I mean, this
You're
guy's
doing
got
reading.
like this, okay.
Let's do it now.
There's a lot of
Yeah, it's for him,
pentacles
in the
on the
past.
ground.
Mhm.
There's surrounding this dude, lady, whatever.
Okay.
Then on their hand they have a falcon, but that's a like dainty falcon. Because I mean that looks like that doesn't look scary to me. But the falcon, I guess, would show that you're trying to tame, like you're taming something.
This is reverse, right? We're reading?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm trying to like figure out the card first and then do the reverse. So maybe there is some disproportion. There's something going on that's disproportionate, that's maybe like out of balance. Like maybe you were in a certain habit of doing things and you change that habit. Like maybe you were doing things a certain way and then you decided to change that pattern. Because I would say in, upright position that you're on the right track, you're heading for success, but maybe there's like a little adjustment that you need to make.
Okay. It's a reverse too. If on the positive side it means building, like building stability,
Yeah.
Industry. Maybe in the past you weren't really concerned about that.
Right.
That's why it's on the reverse, because you maybe you weren't concerned with.
I wasn't back then. I was just riding along with everybody else. Like,
That's it. Yeah, it's just really just the opposite of that. That on the positive side, it means this is someone that's attaining something. He has the ability and enough finances to have the hobby of owning a falcon and training it.
Right.
But if it's on the reverse, that means that he wasn't caring about that. Personally, he might have been, like you said, using other people, but you didn't really care about yourself building that or attaining material wealth or stability at the time in your past. Who's doing the present card?
Is it reversed?
I don't know, because he
Yeah,
gave
'cause
it
I
to
was
me
like,
this way, so I...
Yeah, for me that's not reversed, but it's reversed for him.
This is why
Remember, also guys, we're learning, so if it's reverse, just reverse the reading to, but ask him if he wants to receive it in reverse.
Because the reverse
Reverse is just the
about
opposite,
perspective
so
right here,
if it
'cause
means
it's
something,
reversed
it's just
to
going to be the
him,
opposite of that.
What would be, yeah, I mean, we'll read it, and then the reverse is just the reverse.
Yeah, that's right.
Wheel of Fortune to me always seems like it's like your fate, like you're at like a turning point for determining. So I feel like you're at a turning point in your life.
Okay.
What card is that?
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh,
Do you remember what
upright?
what sign
It was reversed.
that connects to? What planet?
You can't. I can't. This is
No,
always
that's how we
funny.
pronounce. James says I pronounce it funny. I'm like, that's how we pronounce it
No,
down
it's
south.
earnest.
It's the accent.
Earnest.
I say I slip too, and people are like, what?
Iceland. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how people say I slip.
Yeah. Iceland. You got
Wait.
it.
I heard the accent on that one.
Yeah.
So what planet, Jonathan? is-
Anyone know what planet? We'll think about Wheel of Fortune. What's growth? What's expansion?
Jeopardy.
It starts with a J.
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Jupiter,
Yeah.
yes.
That's funny, I said Jeopardy.
So in the present, you said that he's at a turning point.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's like Taurus energy on here too, because there's the bull right here, and there's
Remember, there's four
The fixed
signs.
Fixed
Yes,
sign.
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
There's four
Leo.
big signs of the zodiac on that card.
Leo,
Yeah.
Aquarius.
And just so people to know, there's two cards in Tarot that have four fixed signs of the zodiac. It's the Wheel of Fortune and the World card, which is the last Tarot card.
That's supposed to
Stuff
come
you've raised
last.
before, and it's like,
The
are you
world?
gonna continue
Yeah,
studying
it's number
your
21
ways, or are you gonna
in the major
change?
arcana. It's the last. Yeah.
That could resonate. Like, am I going to start ending cycles and setting boundaries? Then if you don't, and you don't focus on yourself, you give too much of your cup away.
You can't pour from an empty cup, man. All right, and who's doing the future?
Future.
Yeah, this one came that way.
On the
Cut
moon.
her out.
What do you got? No counting. No counting.
Nine of Swords.
Nine of Swords. Ooh, this is scary.
Oh,
We can
is that
see
the one
it.
that I got?
You
So,
got no.
right away, my intuition is telling me there's not to sugarcoat anything. There's going to be some like obstacles you're going to face in your life and some challenges. But, you're waking up from the dream and realizing that it's just a dream. Realizing that, not to let the fears get the best of you.
Mm.
But there will be challenges, and you will wake up. You will get through it.
Is that right?
Are you gonna tell us what's going on in your life?
Mix of things.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
It's...
We're not gonna judge.
There was, like in the past, I didn't really care as much about, I had like a big mindset on where I wanted to go in the future and wanted to be a pilot, and I got my license, that didn't really work out, went into Homeland Security, and the past, I was on top of the world, I felt like I had a hammer, I was on top of the world, and then just things happened at that job and just beat me down, so emotionally it dropped me, everything dropped me, so then I just started giving up. I really didn't care much about that. I just kind of just rode, just went by this job, that job, whatever I could get. And then as things slowly went on, like she was saying, the present, I started to learn to cut boundaries and start learning more about myself. I woke up spiritually in the past 3 years. I had met someone that was, I felt my twin flame at the time, was kind of a roller coaster, up and down.
That's what twin flames are.
Yeah, but each time there was a separation in that connection, I learned more about myself and grew more and grew more and grew more, and then
Yeah.
got to that point of spirituality.
Yeah.
you know, and went to a hypnotherapist that, you know, like Diana, and then she helped open me up more between that and the readers. And it's actually funny because the first reader I ever went to, I don't really like connect with her anymore because I just had a reading with her recently from Vegas, Mystic Mona, and that's where you gotta like trust your intuition on that, because she's telling me, because I cut things out, there is a path forward if I apply to a certain job or a certain field, and then that's where I will meet the next girl that I'm supposed to meet and get married and all that direction. But sometimes you gotta choose that path. That's where he could be saying like the challenges, you know, like, do you want to go that way, or do you want to kind of choose the path, like
spiritual thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally in
The present
bed.
card tells it all. The present card, if you guys really analyze that card, it's telling it all.
The world.
No, present. The present card is the
The
Wheel of
wheel.
Fortune.
Oh yeah, we will. Fortune.
Explain that one more.
Yeah, so basically, let me pull the card up so everyone can see.
you're spinning almost like a roulette. You're spinning it, you know. It's, that's
You
what
can
I
go
feel
any
like.
which way.
Like the present, yeah, like I can go, but which path I choose could determine. Like I could stay at
Where's
the
the teacher?
job
Did she?
that I'm at
She said
and
that.
retire eventually, but then that might not lead to, you know, a path of let's say a relationship, family, all that. But it would still lead to a path of, you know, enlightenment, happiness, because I'm choosing, you know.
Over here you see Rota. So here there's a lot going on in the middle of it. So that's why it's important to study, because Rota is a rotor, right? What's a rotor? You know what rotor is in a car, right? What a rotor is the rotors are. It's where,
Oh, that road.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also an anagram because it's also spells Torah, which is the law. So it's understanding, you know, the wheel of fortune, right? Gaining fortune, and fortune is not always money. Fortune could be fortune in relationships, right? Fortune could be,
That's what I've also learned too. Like money is not as important to me as it is the friendships and family and the things I already have, because that's what it's taught me. Like, yeah, I could be a billionaire, but what's that gonna do
It's
for
an
me?
important lesson to learn before you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all these billionaires, when they're sitting there, they go, "Well, that's great. I've got, you know, 200 billion to my name, but now what? All
And
my
also
friends
sometimes
are
if you have too much money, then
Yep.
people only like you for your money.
they're on your payroll. They
Yeah.
only care about what you can give them and not what you know, like
Yeah.
a true, if you truly care about someone, whether it's even just a friendship or that's what matters more, like showing those people how you want to be seen too, right? So that taught me more.
it also
That
shows
was,
balance too, guys, because these are the 4 fixed signs. So fixed signs, once again, of the zodiac are signs that they're fixed. Like it's like in the middle of the season, right? So basically, you have Aquarius, there is a man here. You have Scorpio, so you have air. You have water. You have Leo, the lion, which is fire, and then Taurus, which is earth. So it all connects to what elements, what it represents, right? And it's like you need to be fixed in them, but also you need to understand and use the power of the Sphinx, because he's up top. The Sphinx represents the mastership. Because if you look at a Sphinx has what? A head of a what? What does a Sphinx
Like
have? The head of the. What's the head of the Sphinx we usually see?
Like the thing
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
is that headdress?
Oh yeah, but it's a head of. Is it a what animal?
a lion.
It's a man.
Oh, that's not a
right.
man.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a right.
So yeah, it's the face of a
wasn't it
man.
Not
Oh,
always
yeah,
that
yeah.
Wait, then what's the thing that's?
Well, we just
like
go by
this?
what it is for this card, right?
Oh.
So it's a face of a man, right? But the Sphinx has a face of a man. They usually have wings. It has the paws of a bull and the tail of a lion. So the Sphinx represents
All
the
four.
balance. Like, so that's why the Sphinx, you know, in Egypt was in front of the pyramid, right? Whatever the pyramid represented to them, guarding it. Meaning you have to answer his riddles to be able to get past that, him as the guard, into that inner temple or that pyramid, whatever it represented, right? So it's understanding that why he's on the top, and he also has a sword too as well, which connects to justice and Libra, right? Discernment, and your balance of all these natures that you have within us. We have elemental natures in us. We got fire and willpower. The water's our emotions. It's balancing every elemental part of you, which could be mental, physical, emotionally, right?
How would
And-
you interpret his future card? The future card saying
Oh,
that
it's like the
there's going to
future
be
card.
obstacles.
This
Okay.
one's not the future one.
This is
No,
the
no, no,
present.
no,
It's
that's
present.
the present.
Yeah, so
This
I'll
was past.
so basically this just shows in the present you could be any part of this. You could be the snake, which represents your kundalini area, right? You could be, this is the jackal, right? Or Anubis, or you could be the sphinx. So you have a power to determine your future.
You just gave me something in my head from Back to the Future 3, whereas when Dr. Brown, he comes back with the train and they go, the picture was erased, and he goes, because your future isn't written yet, make it a good one, make it what you want.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm at that point now where I get to choose the path I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You got a whole wheel of fortune in front of you.
Yeah.
Take pictures of that.
the Nine of Swords, is just, it is a card of, it shows, but like you said before, there will be some disappointment, there will be some challenges, in the future, but there is for all of us. We all have that. It's just understanding how to
view it too,
exactly.
because now I've learned
Waking
to
up
view,
from the dream.
like if you don't expect, you're not going to be disappointed, but also if you don't look at it as a disappointment, you can look at it as a positive of what did this person teach me, and and the lessons I learned to help me grow, because everybody's a mirror of you. So.
100%.
Or it could be too, if you navigate the Wheel of Fortune correctly in the present, you could prevent this from happening. Because remember, in tarot, we are all magicians, right? So, magician is someone that could affect change within the elements around them. So it's understanding that like I said before, tarot is just a way to help you to understand stuff. Sometimes it's a way to help you to wake up, to see things that maybe you wouldn't have seen through words, right? Because sometimes we have to see it through pictures, because that's going to connect to the deeper part of ourselves, the subconscious, which is very intelligent because it runs all the programs, keeps you alive, without us consciously having to think about beating our heart or think about breathing. It does it automatically for you. That's a very powerful, intelligent force that we all have within us.
And if you think about it, like you're going through something in life, right? You ask your wife, you ask your friends, you get all their opinions. In a way, they're a projection, like they are the tarot card, because they're giving you an opinion that you can use as a tool on how you want to proceed.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question.
Okay.
When the other horoscope signs show up on there, like you said, there was a Leo, a Taurus, a Libra, so on, can they have any connection to somebody that is of that horoscope sign that's giving you some kind of influence?
Absolutely, yeah. You could take it anyway. Interpretation is just, you need to understand the basics of what, and then now, of course, connect to that. Wait, so I might have a Scorpio, guiding me, or, could be a family, could be a friend, but it's understanding that too. And then you could even, I like to actually keep the fixed signs around me as like friends. I have close friends that are like, fixed, I have a fixed Aquarius sign, I have a fixed Scorpio, and I'm always trying to get
I actually have like a quick thing I could share in relation to all this. I got like a reading once, and to make a long thing short, it was basically like that Scorpio sign came up, right? And the first thing I thought of was my friend, Kevin, and he's a hardcore, guy. So I thought like right away, and I was like, wow, Scorpio Kevin, like it helped me figure something out that I was working through, right? Called him, and it was like the perfect time. Like he was going through stuff, and I was just like, it was like the perfect time. You know what I mean? So like it literally led me to that. And if I didn't get that reading, God knows what would have happened in that.
But you
in that moment.
brought the information you need to help that person in that situation. Like my buddy was going through stuff with his wife, and I had other friends reach out to me, but previous to that, I had just went to a reading, or I had just went to the hypnotherapy. I had learned the information I needed on my own to be able to help them.
Exactly. So they're tools,
Yeah. That's what it's called, divination, right? So divination is basically what? Divining, right? So using the cards to divine, to get answers from the divine, answers from the invisible. Where radio waves, you don't see them, but they do exist, and something does happen when you tune into a frequency.
Right.
So it's understanding that the cards are just used to tune in to the energies that are all around us.
Right.
Stars are always around. Doesn't matter what sign you're on. All the stars are around all of us. The sun's always around all of us, and it makes a difference. Without a sun, there's no life. And without the moon, there's no tide. So everything matters, and everything is its own particular type of energy that the tarot and divining helps you to use to connect. The more you learn it, you'll be able to understand it and connect it to other things and other people around you.
I think that what's good about the symbolism too is that life is, you know, always going to change. But like, look, we're still using these decks, but like because, you know, years and years and years and years have gone by, and some of the symbolism in it is still like most of the symbolism is still valid, and also, you know, I think the point is to take from it what you need. You know, take
that's
what
it.
resonates.
If it sounds weird, then that's your intuition telling you that's not for you. Because you could listen to a general reading, you could listen to a reading you pay for, and like I said, that first reader I went to was accurate, set me on a path, and that's what led to the whole spirituality growth. But then I recently did a reading with her, and some of it sounded like it was for me, and then the rest of it, like, that's why I got the Wheel of Fortune, because I'm looking for advice, but you know, like, you got to decide.
You're fielding your options,
right?
Yeah, but you have to figure out for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
The magic is in you.
Pretty much, we're the magician.
You're the magician.
Yeah. That's always what I try and remember is like when I'm feeling shaky about my interpretations is, you know, like sometimes I feel like I have to look at the book or I have to do this or I have to, you know, but I want to try and like also like make sure I'm trusting my intuition and inner knowing.
Yeah, and
as
it's
well.
just training it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good to like use the book, like it's good to like learn it. So before I even did any readings, I did like years of lessons with the tarot cards, you know, like because and it took me a long time to have enough confidence to do public stuff. I've done plenty of Masonic lectures in closed door, members only, you know, rooms, right? But I didn't think I knew enough or had enough knowledge to actually do it in the public.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's because you know,
You
you
had
need
to
just
earn
learn.
your confidence.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now, as I'm teaching, I'm also learning too as well, because we're all teaching and we're all learning. You're a student and a teacher at the same time.
You're always
It's understanding that. It's understanding to be, you know, mutable like that, to be able to receive sometimes and then give sometimes.
Yep.
But don't think you're a know-it-all. No one knows it all. I don't know anything. That's how I'm open-minded enough to keep learning.
Right.
Okay. You guys want to do a meditation, or we could end the class here? It's up to you. It's about 9:52.
I'm down with a
Meditation.
We could do a quick meditation. Mike, we'll do a quick meditation, and then we'll end the class, right?
We got to split.
That's fine. Yeah, no problem, guys. Likewise. Thanks for coming down. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Good seeing you guys. Yes. Take care.
It's nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you guys. Yeah. I hope you guys come back for another one.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to
Thank you
meet
so much for
you.
coming again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
put that
Hope to see you guys soon.
Yes.
We're gonna continue. We're gonna go into the astral temple we created last time. Okay. So, Mike, you want to lead it?
Yeah. Well, what do you need?
I was just messing with you.
Oh,
We're gonna lead the meditation. So everyone, let's just sit comfortable, hands on your lap. We're gonna start by taking 3 deep neutral breaths. That's in and out through your nose. So. All right, make sure our eyes are closed, and we're gonna find ourselves on the top of a stairway. And we're going to go down the stairs. There's 10 steps, so we're going to slowly go down. I'm going to count down. 10, 9. As you go down, feel yourself get lighter and lighter. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now you're at the landing and you see a door. And on the door you see a symbol of Libra. You see scales. So you open the door and you see bright light from the sun, a setting sun. And as we walk on the path, on your right and left you see a field of sunflowers. And you look and see the beauty of them, how perfect they look. You keep walking on the right, you see the magician's garden. And you know that last time you went there and you got your tools because you are all magicians. And now we walk further into the woods, and there's all tall trees, oaks and pine trees, all different tree families are all working together in unity. And at the end of the forest you see an owl. And as the sun is starting to set, the owl leads you up to the mountain where the hermit is waiting for you. Take your time to look at this mountain, how expansive, how high it is. You start climbing up the mountain, and as you start climbing, you walk in between two pillars at the foot of the mountain. The owl leads you up. As the sun goes down and sets in the west, you see the hermit in the distance on a cliff with a lantern in his right hand and a light shining from a 6-rayed star. He greets you and he's happy to see you because now you come to visit him again. Follow the hermit up into a cave deep in the mountain that leads to our astral temple for the Tarot Academy class. As you go down the corridor, you see torch fire lighting the way, and on the right there's a door. He knocks on the door and the door is open to you. Now walk in, and this is the Tarot Academy Astral Temple. This is where you could go anytime and get the knowledge and the answer that you seek of the wisdom that's buried beyond the levels of the cards. As you walk in, you see a bull in the west. You see a lion in the south. You see all the same animals we just saw on the Wheel of Fortune card in there, in the directional stations. In the center you see an altar with water and fire on top of it. This represents the eternal flame that's within all of us. As the hermit takes you to the eastern part, you see Lady Justice there. Whatever way she appears to you, let her appear to you. Some may see her with the sword up, some may see her with the sword down. Whatever you need to see, it will show you. Now go up to her and ask her one thing that would help you on your path at this point in time as we change to the next season. She may answer right away, or you may get the answer as you leave. After she answers, bow and thank her for their experience and for her guidance. Now follow the hermit, and he will lead you out the temple. And take a look around and see all the fixed signs of the zodiac, all the animals, the man for Aquarius, the eagle for Scorpio, the lion for Leo, and the Taurus, the bull, are all fixed powers that are within you. Now follow the hermit out the temple. Go up the corridor with the flames from the torches. It's a little steep, but you come out and you see the sun rising. He leads you to a part where you see the owl, and the owl guides you down the mountain. You take a glance to the right and you see the sun glistening, and you just sit there in awe of how beautiful it looks. Feel the warmth on your face. Feel the bright light of love. Now follow the owl back into the woods. Thank him for his guidance to the hermit. And slowly come back through the woods, back to the magician's garden, and to the door with a symbol of Libra on it. Open the door and start ascending the stairs, the 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers and your neck. And when you are ready, come back to conscious reality. This concludes the Tarot Academy class. Thank you everybody for coming tonight. Did everyone, was it hard or easier to see everything this time?
Is there any reason why Lady Justice would come up as a snake?
You
crazy.
You kind of answer that. But remember, once again, to dive down the rabbit holes, what does a snake connect to?
A snake's usually not a good
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It's usually deception.
Okay, right?
Kundalini.
But remember, but on an ambulance, right? On things that are meant to help people, you see the snakes.
Snakes aren't always bad, they're just
Sure, the medical
misunderstood.
symbol.
Because snakes, exactly, you said it, the what? The medical symbol.
Yeah, the medical
Yeah.
Because that just stems back from the story of Moses, Exodus. They were told they were all, I think they got bitten by snakes, something happened, they were all sick. So God said, put the snake on the towel cross and have them stare at it. It was a golden snake. And that's why that became eventually the same
caduceus.
symbol.
Oh.
Well, the caduceus too, yeah.
The snake's on the bottom of the Blessed Mother. I have the statue.
Mm,
She's
I like
on the
that.
bottom of it.
Ah.
Yeah, I have that my big statue. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack there. But she came as a snake, you said?
Yeah, I was like in the altar room, and then all of a sudden I'm looking for Lady Justice, and then here's this giant snake spiraled up, and you're like, yes. That's not what I was expecting to see.
I like the owl like guiding us. And, like, it was cool.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
owl's nice.
It was nice. I was just like, oh, I got this little owl friend that's like taking me down.
Yeah.
It's like I liked when you were at the top of the mountain and you were looking down, and I just could imagine like at sunset, like, and the sun's almost going down completely, and how beautiful it would be on the treetops and stuff. Because I've gone hiking a lot, and I've seen that, and it's just beautiful. And like, when you're at the top of a mountain and you're looking down, you realize how small
Yep.
everything
That's
is.
how last it was. All the way to the top. We just look down, see the clouds and everything.
And it's a peaceful feeling,
Yeah.
because you feel like you're just something small on, that helps the larger world,
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, you're right.
Mountains I found easy to, will picture because I came back from a weekend ago from a wedding in Utah.
Oh, wow.
By Salt Lake City, Utah. I mean, the landscape was unbelievable. We landed in Salt Lake City. My nephew lives there. The mountains looked like they were a backdrop on a screen. They didn't look real. They looked like they were just not
Like
even
almost
depth.
yeah.
They looked fake, and then we had to drive 4 hours to get where the wedding was in Moab. And
Wow.
in the first hour, you were on this windy, up and down hilly road that, I mean, you came
Did you
around, it
sink?
was up, and that tractor trailer, thank God we were doing that part during the daytime,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was crazy. But all mountains. 1 hour into it, flatlands. There's not a mountain to be had. They all disappeared.
Wow.
All you are is flatlands and a couple of trees. Still no villages, no nothing. And the last hour, you're in the Moab Desert, the Canyonlands, where you look like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, all those monuments. That's the last hour of it. In a
Wow.
4-hour drive, to see the
Wow.
landscape change.
Amazing, yeah.
Unbelievable. It was,
That's the West for
I
me.
think that's
Yeah.
why people like Utah, like in a way, like people that are into like hiking and parks.
yeah,
and stuff
that's what
like
that's why the wedding was over there. It
Because
was
there's so
just-
much beautiful.
It was unbelievable. The
places.
red, rocks, the cliffs, just unbelievable to see that change
Yeah.
of scenery in a 4-hour, 3-hour period from when we left
It's
over.
like that in California too.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
can
yeah,
be
that's,
cold in some places, and then like a desert in
Yeah.
others. Like
That's exactly how Spain was in Portugal. I went there in July.
Oh,
I wanna
nice.
go to
Oh
Spain.
my goodness, it was like going to California, Arizona, Midwest, upstate New York, because the landscape just changes. It changes. It's like valleys, it's plains, it's like farmlands, and then it's just mountains. And you're in the mountains, and you're most of the driving to was in the daytime, so it wasn't
Wow.
as bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, mountainous, and these mountains are beautiful,
Wow.
wow.
huge mountains. Yeah, incredible. And some look like California, because California mountains, are not as like woody. Some of them,
Right.
it's like more like a desert mountainy
Yeah.
kind of look. And then some were like more like in northern like part of Spain. It was more like green when you get closer to the water and
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we saw, the green
incredible.
too.
But
Right.
one spot there was miles and miles of sunflowers, like just I guess they were
Like in our meditation.
yes, yeah, wow, yeah, there was like miles of just sunflowers. I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Something's telling you to go back to Spain. The sunflower.
Oh yeah, I'll
Well,
definitely go back to
The
Spain.
thing with the owl,
Yeah.
Just
though,
go
there's
live in
there's
Spain.
a
I'm thinking of retirement.
Right
there was a
there.
place
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
But I
of.
want to do tours. I want to do like Knights Templar tours. It's my goal because
That
I
would
went
be
there for
super
a
fun.
Templar tour,
That was.
and that was nice.
Yeah, this was Vegas.
And we'll
Flying
go
from
visit
Vegas
castles and
to
stuff.
Arizona because we skydived over the Grand Canyon.
Oh wow.
And it was just like, but it's just like unearthly.